Yeah, no, I'm not going to get on here that raunchy. But I'm getting on here talking about problematic workers. As a supervisor, problematic workers, people that do the most and don't take accountability for what they do and do things for selfish reasons and try to mingle that into the workflow for some reason. How is that part of the workflow? How are you creating a problem in the workflow? How are you creating a problem in the workflow and then complaining about it? And complaining about it. How can you create a workflow problem and complain about it? And just to make yourself comfortable, to make yourself do the least amount of work, to make yourself look like you're working, but you're not, to be on your phone. I mean, I'm not harping. This is a young person, and what's crazy about it is just that it's just problematic. It's like, how are you complaining about something piling up at a place where you leave early and the work is not being covered? You are walking away from your station and there's nobody there to cover you because everyone thinks that you're going to be leaving a half hour later. So if you're going to lunch at, say, let's say 1:30, and you leave your station at 1 and don't come back until 4, until 2:40 or 2:45, because maybe you want to go to the washroom right after you punch back in for lunch. So your station has been clear and free for about an hour and 45 minutes. And then you come back complaining why there's a lot of work because the person that took over is behind because they were trying to compensate for what you didn't do that first half hour you left your station, and then that whole hour that you were away on your legitimate lunch. Now this person is getting all the workflow coming down plus what you left behind. Then you come back complaining about how there's a pile up. How can you do that? And then you don't, and then what's so bad about it, that person is like not taking accountability for that, not even going, okay, well, maybe that's the case that's happening. I just thought it was somebody not doing the work. No, it's people are doing the work. It's just the workflow is just backed up. And part of it is your fault or that person's fault. I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying. So you get upset because you get called out on it, and now someone is deemed dirty or someone is deemed, the bad guy and all that. And that's the problem with certain people in certain areas or certain jobs. They always try to deem a supervisor as a bad guy. We got to stop doing that with management. Soon as you walk in the door, because you come from another place that was toxic with management, you think all management is that way. Or somewhere down the line, maybe you heard the complaints of your parents or you heard the complaints of someone else when they were working or someone and it's always management. It's not always management. It's so crazy because right now I work at a place where the management is like the best management I've ever worked for or with. And my thing is, people don't know what toxic management is. They don't know what toxic management is. It's just because you can't get your way, because you can't do what you want to do, that doesn't make management bad. Bad management is when management is always picking on you, or management is always micromanaging your work and can't let you work freely, or can't let you do what you need to do, or listening to other people who are trying to get out of work complain about you because they're trying to shift that blame over to you. And the management listens to that, or the management goes with that. Or if management is related to somebody, or if management is best friends with somebody, or if management, now I've had this, if management are from the same ethnicity, an ethnic group, and they will listen to that ethnicity person or ethnic person that's the same ethnicity, they will listen to that person before they listen to you because they think that person was right or telling the truth, and they could be the best, liars in the world. People, we have to stop this. And it just blew my mind because someone was getting out of work, and once they got out of work and they're complaining about the work that they have to do. And it's not that much, it's very little, but they made it a big issue, and they got upset and mad because they got called out on it. Hey, do your work, and you ain't got to worry about getting called out on nothing. You don't have to worry about complaints. You don't have to worry about management. You don't have to worry about, all that other stuff about, how you feel and all that. I take feelings in consideration. I take any let's say any ideas in consideration. I take that as management. But what I don't take is people trying to get out of work and do the least amount of work. Okay, that's me, sorry. Or the least amount of work and not do their job. I don't get that. I don't get that. Even as a worker, I couldn't stand that. And then don't you hate too when management is trying to address that very situation, the person, they'll do it, for the whole group. But that very person that they're doing it for is not even there. Is off that day. And it's like that person didn't even hear it. That I please, if I am directing something to someone, I make sure they're there. I make sure everyone hears it. I make sure they're there. And the thing is, I hate when that happens. So I just wanted to get on here and trip about this because this is just something else. Subscribe and like if you do. If not, whatever. But this is just my rant, and it's the truth. All right. Peace out, y'all. Peace out.